Now listen, when it comes to the wild drama unfolding between Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Tyler, the Creator, it's not just music anymore. It's a full-blown cultural moment. And if you're here for the tea, buckle up, because rap's very own courtside Karen might just be headed for another spectacular meltdown. Yep, we're talking about Drake, whose latest songs have nosedived off the charts, while the very artists he can't stand are soaring effortlessly above him. If you've been keeping up, you know the vibe. Drake's on a losing streak that's not just embarrassing, it's historic. So go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe, because this saga, it's only getting juicier. See, as Drake's downfall continues to unravel in real time, it's becoming painfully obvious. This isn't just a bad week. This is a collapse, a free fall, a full-blown musical crash out that's unfolding one disappointing chart position at a time. And let's be real, the man who once ruled the charts like a king now looks more like a bronze medalist, if that. The truth is, the very month that's exposing Drake's fading grip on the game is also the month that's making one thing clear. The genre is changing. Hip-hop is splitting into two ideologies, two artistic mindsets, and only one side is winning. Now sure, Drake did drop 2 songs this month, and technically, they landed decently on the charts. But let's not get it twisted. Those numbers, they're not based on the quality of the music. They're driven almost entirely by his fan base's desperation to keep him relevant. A fan base that's gotten so pressed, they're out here circulating step-by-step guides on how to boost streams and manipulate numbers. It's not about the music anymore. It's about calculators, playlists, and delusion. Seriously, when did being a Drake fan turn into a group project? And here's where it gets tragic. Even with all that rallying behind him, even with fans treating this like a digital protest movement, Drake still couldn't touch the heights he once called home. The days of automatic #1 debuts are gone, long gone. And let's be honest, he'd be lucky to even crack the top 3 right now. Take his latest track, What Would Pluto Do? The Heart Part 12 or whatever it's called this week. The rollout was bizarre. The energy was off, and despite all the streaming parties and OVO prayer circles, the song landed with a thud. Fans tried to gas it up like it was some sort of anthem, but let's keep it a buck. It sounded more like a half-baked freestyle than a record built to dominate. And look, when your fans are working harder than your PR team just to fake a chart win, that says a lot. Meanwhile, Kendrick? Oh, Kendrick's not even sweating. He already came out the other side of their beef looking cleaner, smarter, and sharper. And while Drake's out here fumbling singles, Kendrick's influence continues to rise. Even when he's quiet, he's winning. That's power. But Kendrick isn't the only one outshining Drake right now. Nope. Enter Tyler, the Creator, who isn't just winning, he's evolving, quietly, stylishly, and without a single gimmick. Tyler's latest drop, Don't Tap the Glass, came in with only 10 tracks. That's right, no deluxe version, no playlist stuffing, no filler, just pure intentional music. And guess what? He matched, if not exceeded, the numbers that bloated albums like SOS's For You Music and Jack Boys 2 did with double the songs. Tyler's minimal, focused project stood tall against the stream padding giants. While others needed 20 tracks and multiple skits to move units, Tyler did it with precision, class, and taste. That's the part folks aren't talking about enough. Tyler didn't just make an album, he made a statement, a masterclass in quality over quantity. And it's that same honesty in his art that's leaving artists like Drake and Travis Scott in the dust. Because unlike them, Tyler didn't have to resort to circus tricks, TikTok challenges, or awkward live streams to prove he's elite. His numbers, his impact, and his audience, all organic. Now back to our boy Aubrey, because just as the internet starts celebrating Tyler's chart domination, Drake tries to claw his way back to the top with What Did I Miss? And y'all, he missed, like badly. The song didn't just fail to hit #1, it didn't crack the top 10 or the top 20. It landed, brace yourself, at number 23. That's not just a flop, that's a red flag. And what's worse, instead of owning the L, the OVO stands tried to spin it. They blamed the industry, claimed it was a setup, cried foul like it was a conspiracy against their king. But here's the thing, this ain't The Sopranos. It's not that deep. It's not a plot. It's just bad music. But what really made people cringe? Drake tried to throw some surface-level symbolism into the song, dissing LeBron, using half-baked metaphors that OVO fans swear are Shakespearean. Newsflash, it's not genius if no one knows what the hell you're talking about. Still, they ran with it, flipping this flop into a hidden win, spinning narratives like they're in a fan fiction form. But let's be honest, numbers don't lie. The people aren't listening. In the charts, they've moved on. So, before anyone tries to act like this was a one-off or blame some grand industry conspiracy, let's call it what it is, a fall from grace, and not a graceful one either. This is the sound of an artist trying to relive his glory days and getting drowned out by the present. And we haven't even gotten to the second song yet. Let's get one thing clear up front. A hit is a hit. And no matter how you slice it, this latest Drake track is just not that. Not even close. See, in 2025, the definition of a hit has evolved. It's no longer enough to have clout, name recognition, or a few million thirsty fans refreshing Spotify at midnight. To truly break through today, a song needs reach. It has to live beyond streaming numbers and cross over into radio, viral moments, cultural conversation, the kind that echoes everywhere from Instagram reels to barbershop debates. And that's the problem. Drake, he's just not that guy anymore. Sure, he's still pulling numbers on streaming platforms thanks to loyal stans who would stream a voicemail if he dropped it. But even with some decent airplay this time around, especially on hip-hop stations, it's painfully clear that's not enough anymore. Because outside those hip-hop circles, What Did I Miss isn't connecting. It's not catchy, it's not quotable, and it doesn't hit like Not Like Us or even The Heart Part 6. It's missing that magic. It's missing soul. And if you've heard it, you know exactly what I mean. It's lazy. It sounds like it was thrown together during a lunch break. Recycled drums we've all heard 1,000 times before, a predictable beat switch at the end that tries to sound deep but falls flat, and bars that feel more like leftovers than a feast. Now, let's look across the ring. Kendrick's records, hooks that live in your head rent-free, verses that become captions, samples that make you feel something, like when he flipped Debbie Deb and brought freestyle music back into the convo, or when he paid homage to Luther Vandross, pulling emotions from places most rappers don't even think to touch. That's range. That's art. That's what makes a real hit. So when you stock up what Drake is doing versus what Kendrick is delivering, it's night and day. One is throwing darts in the dark hoping something sticks. The other, carefully crafting records that resonate on a human level. That's the difference. And that's why Drake's latest attempts are crashing and burning, while Kendrick stays untouchable. But oh, it gets worse. Let's talk about Drake's new collab with Central Cee. Now, if you thought What Did I Miss was disappointing, this one tries so hard to appeal to a global audience, it practically screams, "Please like me." Is Drake pandering at his most shameless? Whereas someone like Kendrick can gracefully merge street with soul, pop with poetry, Drake stumbles into the territory like a lost tourist. And instead of sounding fresh, it comes off like a parody of his former self. And here's the irony. Even that track, with all the push behind it, is projected to land somewhere between number 7 and number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. Respectable? Sure. But for Drake, that's barely hanging on. Let's not forget, this is the same man who once owned the top spot with ease. Now, he's become the permanent bronze medalist of hip-hop. Still around, still visible, still showing up at the podium, but never quite taking gold anymore. And honestly, it's hard to watch, because what Drake is releasing now is like a shadow of what he used to be. The music feels like watered-down versions of his older hits. There's no hunger, no edge, no soul. It's as if he's just going through the motions, tossing out records like factory products, cold, calculated, and lacking the spark that once made him a juggernaut. Now, let's talk about the actual ingredients of a hit. Strong hooks, memorable bridges, infectious melodies, some clever wordplay, and a feeling that makes people hit repeat. Drake's last few songs, they check none of those boxes. And before his fans get mad and start crying about industry sabotage or some imaginary anti-OVO agenda, let's be real. It's not sabotage. This is just bad music. The charts aren't lying. The people aren't blind. And the numbers aren't biased. They're telling a story about an artist who peaked, then stalled, and now he's in denial about his decline. And while Drake keeps playing the victim card, Kendrick, Tyler of the Creator, and even Clips are out here dropping heat and collecting accolades. Tyler's Don't Tap the Glass didn't just do numbers, it shook the table. Kendrick's Luther is still charting, almost a year later. That's longevity. That's impact. That's what true artistry looks like. Meanwhile, Drake is still crying rigged every time he drops a mid-single and it doesn't break records. And it's sad because instead of self-reflection, we get excuses. Instead of reinvention, we get repetition. Instead of evolution, we get regression. Drake used to thrive on dominance. That's where he found his validation. The charts were his scoreboard. But now that he's slipping, he's pretending the game is broken. Spoiler alert, it's not. He just stopped playing it well. And here's the biggest twist of all. In an era where a track that honors Luther Vandross can outperform a song designed to pander to everyone, maybe, just maybe, hip-hop is entering a new chapter. One where real artistry is finally being rewarded again. A chapter where gimmicks fade and substance shine. And if that's where we're headed, then maybe Drake's downfall isn't just karma. Maybe it's exactly what the genre needed. So now the mic is on you. What do you think about the state of the charts right now? About Tyler the Creator taking the throne with the 10-track masterpiece? About Kendrick staying steady while Drake tumbles down the ladder? And about Clips making a quiet but undeniable comeback? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I seriously want to hear it all. And hey, if you made it this far in the video, you already know the drill. Smash that like button, subscribe for more. And if you're still wondering just how bad things have gotten for Drake lately, especially with this ongoing tour mess he's dealing with, check out the next video. It's a deep dive you won't want to miss.